right next to that pavement. So you can see the painted black and white to help me pick out where the pavement is, just there on the right. There's a little bit of compression there, and the bike goes loose. Again, at this point, again, we're doing 190 miles an hour, so the whole bike's just moving. I don't come over too far to the left. We've got Lancaster Road, Hillsey Road, and Malvern Road. If I'm in too close, it unsettles the bike. So I'm on the white line. I'm starting to come over now. Starting to come over. 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 At this point here, see where the black and whites finish on the pavement?
Yes.
So right here is my point where I need to be upright, right there. So that's my turn. So I turn, at that point, I turn the bike over. I turn the bike over for the bottom of Bray Hill. As I turn it, I have to pull it upright because it just compresses at the bottom. I'm pulling that much G that everything pushes into the ground. The bottom of the fairing, the exhaust, all grinds out as I go through. You'll see all like grind and skid marks. You can just see them all there. Just where that blue sidecar is now. You can see them all. That's just from everything just decking out on the ground. Just straight through. I come through there, massive compression. I'm thrown then from the right over to the left. Again, all at 190 miles an hour. At this point, Toagos, this is where you watched the other day. And this is where you're going to wheelie. So the bike just wheelies here.
Right.
And I just play with it on the throttle. 6th gear, and I'm just playing. I'm just carrying that wheelie on. Just carrying it. And it lands. And it'll do the same again on this jump as well. It comes up, and again, I just play with it. Because if I'm giggling to myself in the helmet, I'm loving it.
Are you?
I'm
190.
Like, I'm like, woohoo!
Really?
So yeah, so I'm in ecstasy. This is the dream. This is what we're doing. This is why we'll do it. So I'm enjoying it. I always think if I'm happy in the helmet, I'm going fast. So you see this white house? That white house, that's my focal point. I brake there. Okay, so that's where I should chop the throttle. I don't brake hard. I literally just come down one gear and I use my parachute. I flare my shoulders. I use my parachute. I'm right over there on the right hand side next to the yellow lines. At this point here, I need to come back on the throttle for this bump. See the bump here? So I come back on the throttle just to ride that bump. It lifts, lands, and now I brake hard. Now I'm braking hard into Corbridge. This is the first right hand bend. So we're over a mile and a half into the circuit, and this is my first right hand turn. Okay, so the right hand side of my tyre's cold. I've got 24 litres of fuel. It's so easy to fall off here, so easy. This is the busiest roundabout section on the Isle of Man all year round. In the winter, in the summer, it's always busy here. Even in like a wet November morning, you come here, it's busy. There's always a traffic here. So you can see there's lots of white lines. It's always slippy, dirty, dank, horrible. So for me, I wobble around here. You can go around here faster on a push bike than I used to. And it was because I always knew that it was a tricky, slippy spot. So I didn't want. Last thing I want to do is fall off here and spoil my race. So I just burble around it. Just bottom gear, probably about 40 miles an hour, 30, 40 miles an hour. Just and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to pick the throttle up. So I'm just waiting to pick the throttle up.
How many miles per hour again, Milky, you said at this point?
About 30 miles an hour.
Okay.
Pretty much just it's bottom gear effectively. So
What do you call that area back there?
that's Quarterbridge. This is Quarterbridge.
Quarterbridge.
So yeah, so I just get the thing up right now, and now I drive it on hard. See all the rubber laid on the track? Back on the throttle, up for the gearbox. Back to second, back to third, back up to fourth. Sometimes I get back to fourth. There's a little crest just here, a little wheelie just here. So again, I just pull on handlebars, just tug on it, and it wheelies as I'm accelerating hard, and I'm giggling to myself. Woohoo! Just giggling, and then I'm looking for my braking point. So we're almost 2 miles into the circuit, and this is my first left-hand bend. So the left-hand side of my tyre is cold, so it doesn't give me any feeling. So you see where the white line splits just here?
Yes.
That's my braking point right there. That's what I look for, that braking point. So I brake hard at that, and I'm down the gearbox. Boom, boom, down straight over to where that grey telegraph pole is.
Right.
I'm braking over to the right, where that car is. Now, I'm right on that right-hand side of the road. I let go of the brakes, and I pick the throttle back up again. About third gear, so it's about 120 mile an hour into here. I watch my shoulder there, because the apex sticks out just there. As I transfer, you can see there's a dip in the road just there.
Right.
As I transfer, it's dead easy to crash just there.
It's easy to crash.
Right there, right there. My friend crashed there, first night of practice, first lap.
And why is it easy to crash there?
Because of the compression. It's because it goes over the bridge. That's called Braddon Bridge, and obviously you go over the bridge, and so the bike is unloaded and then loaded. So it's
you say load and unload. Gravity, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, basically, just you've got the weight going up over, because again you're doing over 100 miles an hour, so it lifts and loads again, and then what happens is then it pushes the tyre. Right. So when the tyre is not up to temperature, it has no grip. I mean, that's ultimately the tyre has to have temperature in it to give me grip.
Okay.
If the tyres aren't warm, I'll just crash first bend.